Alright, it's final round time here with the Fast Fours class. Final round, the much anticipated matchup between Adam Rowe and Robert Skidmore. Adam Rowe making the trip in from Michigan. He'll be here in the near lane. He set the world record last round, 266. He'll be up against Robert Skidmore over on the far side. Skidmore went 271 in the last round. We'll see who can take home the big win here at the Soboba Casino SCSDA 2018 season opener. Win light to the far lane, Robert Skidmore, 272 at 116. 272 at 116. Sounded like something happened to Adam Rowe's car when he left, and it definitely wasn't at its normal full boost there. So Robert Skidmore, 272 to a 313 for Adam Rowe. Robert Skidmore will be your winner today in the Fast Fours class. Still an incredible weekend for the road team, making the cross country all, setting the world record at 266, backed up with a 268. So great weekend for everybody here in the Fast Fours category. So that is the final round in that class. All right, so we got some bracket action going on. Pro 3. This is round number 2. Chris Adamson near lane, Ron Hess far lane. In the near lane, Chris Adamson, 051 light. He pedaled it to a 439 on the 28 dial to move on to the next round. Mike Forrester coming up in the near lane. Up against the Rankin Chief over on the far side. Yes, Skidmore did win the final round in the Fast Fours. Red light in the right lane. Mike Forrester is going on to the next round in Pro 3. Got Stan Priest in the far lane. Justin Adamson in the near lane. Justin Adamson, 443 on the 40 dial over here in the near lane, going to the next round. Next up, Paul Christensen in the diesel Ford pickup, up against Casey Springer in the Benz Revenge Land Cruiser. $492 to dial for the diesel pickup. Springer over on the far side. 442 on the 30 dial. Paul Christensen went 513 on that 494 dial. So Casey Springer will move on. So it'll be Justin Adamson, Chris Adamson, Casey Springer, 3 of the Adamson family racing team, and Mike Forrester left in Pro 3 as we're down to 4 cars. So we're down to the Pro 1 final, semis and finals in Pro 2 and Pro 3, and the top eliminator final. Looks like TE is in the lanes. The top eliminator finalists appear to be in the lane, so we may be going there pretty quick. We'll stay live for the duration of the rest of the event here. You're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. If you missed it, we just ran the Fast Fours final round. Robert Skidmore got the win over Adam Rowe. Skidmore went 272. Rowe had some problems and ran 313, but incredible weekend for the Rowe team. They set the Fast Fours world record this weekend at 266. They lowered it from their 270 that they set it with last year when they made the trip to Soboba. So great job by the Michigan-based team. And also a fantastic job there for Skidmore and the crew. They got their tune-up dial back in. They ran 71, 72 today, and 74. So great job by those guys. The 4-cylinder class sure put on a show this weekend, that is for sure. So like I said, what we have left, we have the top eliminator final, we've got the Pro 1 final, and then semi-finals and finals for both Pro 2 and Pro 3. So we're wrapping things up here today, winding down the action. Top eliminator final will be Jim Rossi versus Vicky Hall. We'll see them up here in a little bit. Vicky Hall's been doing a great job her first weekend in the Farmer's Twisted Daughter Dragster. We'll see what she can do in the final. Vicky's had kind of a rough day. Her sister Kathy Brown, that runs the Crazy Train Jeep, had a scary incident, and but Kathy's okay. She's still here at the track. Got some bumps and bruises, but she's okay. So glad to report that. It was a scary looking ride. But Kathy Brown's A-okay, and she's rooting her sister on. Vicky Hall will be up here in the final here pretty quick. Pro 1 final is going to be Craig Durning versus Chris Wells. So that ought to be a good battle. I believe Chris Wells is still in Pro 2 also, going for a double up. So you're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. We're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California for some 300-foot sand drag racing action. Yeah. It looks like we may be going to the top eliminator final. I see Jim Rossi getting strapped in right now, and Vicky Hall getting ready. Is going to be a great final. Jim Rossi's on a winning streak. He won both races last year in Avenal, so he's going for 3 in a row. Vicky Hall, the car that the Hall team purchased from Jackie and Courtney Stidham out of Texas, the Twisted car, that car has quite a winning streak of its own. So both of these cars are proven winners with solid drivers behind the wheel. This is going to be a great final round. Vicky Hall had a little better light last round. She had a little better ET. We'll see if she can keep it up here. But you never know about that wily veteran, Mr. Jim Rossi. He can lay down a pretty good number when he needs to. First round, he had an 049 light against Tristan Graham. So he had a stellar light there. He could step up here and do it again. been kind of a national event of sorts this weekend, with racers making the halt from all across the country. Like I said, the road racing team came in from Michigan. We had Russ Bailey from Missouri here. We had the Hall team from New Mexico, Vicky Hall, as well as her sister Kathy, and the Rankin team with the 300 Jeep. And then we had the Washington guy, Chris Wells, coming up here in the near lane. This is the Pro 1 final. Chris Wells will be here in the near lane in the alcohol-injected small black buggy, 347 the dial. Up against Craig Durning, big black Chevy Power on the far side, and Eugene the Jeep, 359 the dial. Chris Wells with the win, 352 on the 47 dial. He was 024 on the tree. Craig Durning was 019, but Craig only goes 370 on the 59 dial. Chris Wells takes the win in Pro 1 here today at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Great job by Chris and Sonny, the whole team there, making the trip in from the Portland area. They had a new fuel system on the car this weekend, and it seemed to work just right. He gets the win here in the Pro 1 class. Great side-by-side final. Both of them, like I said, were killer on the tree. 019 on the tree for Craig Durning and 024 for Chris Wells. So, Pro 1 final in the books. Chris Wells is your winner. So we're going to clean the track, and it appears we're going to top eliminator final. Vicky Hall and Jim Rossi. So it's been a great weekend of racing out here in Southern California. We'll be back here next month, March 23rd through the 25th, for the next SCSDA event. That'll also be race 2 of the California Sand Drag Challenge Point Series, presented by DBKO Design and Build and Central Cal Windows. This was race 1, the one that we're at right now. So we'll be back here next month with the SoCal Sand Drag Association. We'll have the NSDN live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. And then we move on to Avenal Sand Drags. I believe it's the weekend of April 20th through the 22nd for the Avenal Sand Drag Spring Nationals. We'll go up to see the whole crew in Avenal, up about halfway between Bakersfield and Fresno. Avenal crew puts on an amazing show, so we'll definitely be up there and have fun in Central California. So mark your calendar for that one if you're anywhere nearby. Yep, top eliminator is up next. 295 is on the scoreboards, so that's our class index. We'll see who can get the win. It's going to be the blown small block dragster, Vicky Hall, small block mafia there, up against Jim Rossi. Rossi with the Bogosian power over there. Rossi will be in the near lane with the big black Chevy, up against the small block of Vicky Hall, who will be over in the far lane. Looks like professional liner-upper Joey Weaver is going to find a good spot in the track for Jim Rossi to line up in. This is going to be quite the final round here. They're giving the signal to start up. Top Eliminator Final coming at you next. Both cars have started, and they're heading this way. Eliminator Final. Jim Rossi near lane, Vicky Hall far lane. And the win to the far lane, Vicky Hall, 301. 301 at 104. Vicky Hall is the winner. Jim Rossi had her on the tree. He was 052 to Vicky's 110, and Jim drove it out the back door to a 288 with an 8. So Vicky Hall is your Top Eliminator winner in her first weekend of racing in Top Eliminator class with her Farmer's Twisted Daughter dragster. What a huge accomplishment for Vicky. She did her licensing on Friday, did a fantastic job, and followed it all the way through. #1 qualifier, and ends up in the winner's circle. Vicky Hall, your winner in Top Eliminator, here today at the Soboba Casino, San Jacinto, California. And you're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. So, fantastic day of racing here. Great final round for Top Eliminator. So we're going to clean the track and come back with Pro 2 semifinals. Looks like the Pro 2 and Pro 3 racers are getting suited up and strapped in. They'll be up next. Yep, what an amazing accomplishment for Vicky to win in her first try. What a great car, great driving this weekend for Vicky. She was pretty nervous about this first weekend with the car, but she did a phenomenal job behind the wheel. And that car is dead on, no doubt. So a great end of the weekend for the team from New Mexico. Glad to see them make the trip out here. So we're getting down to the last few runs of the evening. Pro 2 semifinals, Pro 3 semifinals, and then final rounds for both classes are left. So looks like it's going to be Scott Hensley and Tommy Zavala still in it over in Pro 2, as well as Chris Adamson and Chris Wells is also still in it over in Pro 2. Pro 3, Mike Forrester, Justin Adamson, Casey Springer, and Chris Adamson are all still in. Alright, Pro 2 racers getting ready to fire up. Scott Hensley will be in the near lane, 415 dial in, up against Tommy Zavala. Tommy will be over on the far lane with a 375 dial. Looks like I'm misinterpreted the pairing over there. It's actually going to be Scott Hensley against Chris Wells in the first pair. So Scott Hensley here in the near lane. Chris Wells, who just won the Pro 1 class, going for the double up. He dialed in at 375 here in Pro 2. Lane, big time double breakout. Chris Wells takes the win. He was 0-15 on the tree. He went 367 on the 75. Scott Hensley was 407 on the 415. Next up, Chris Adamson near lane. Tommy Zavala far lane. The win to the far lane, Tommy Zavala, 068 bulb to a 100 for Chris Adamson, and that's what he needed to get the job done. It's going to be Tommy Zavala against Chris Wells in the Pro 2 final round. Sounds like Tommy ran dead on with a 0, 375-0 on a 375 dial. Great lap for Tommy Zavala. So Tommy Zavala and Chris Wells will be in the final of Pro 2. Pro 3 semifinals. I hear a few guys getting some heat in the motors. It is starting to get cool out here as the sun goes down. So some of these guys have been sitting for a little bit. They're going to get some heat in the motors as we get ready for the semifinals. Chris Adamson will come right back around. He just dropped that race to Tommy Zavala, but he's also in Pro 3, so he's got another shot at it here. Chris Adams is one of those guys, if you give him enough shots at it, he's going to get at least one class win out of it. It's like Chris's wife Louisa brought him the time slip, and he's going to drive her right back into the lanes for Pro 3. So it looks like Chris Adams is going to be in the first pair out here in Pro 3. They're checking the air pressure in the tires here real quick. Chris is putting his helmet back on. We'll see who he's going to pair off with. Sounds like Chris started up. Here we go, the fist bump from Cuz, and here comes Chris Adamson. He'll be over here in the near lane. He'll be up against Mike Forrester. Mike will be in the far lane. 451 dial for Mike, 428 for Chris Adamson. Yes, Allie, Jim ran a 288 in the final. Chris Adamson with the red light, 047 run. Mike Forrester is going to the final in Pro 3. Justin Adamson near lane. Casey Springer in the far lane. Final at Dumont last weekend in the 425 index class. Casey Springer got the win there. Let's see who will get it tonight. Casey has the better light. Justin on the brakes. It's Casey Springer going to the final. Wow. He was 437 on the 27. Justin broke out with a 434. So Casey Springer goes to the final against Mike Forrester in the Pro 3 class. So we're down to the finals. Pro 2 final and the Pro 3 final. So Pro 2 will be Chris Wells against Tommy Zavala. Pro 3 final will be Mike Forrester against Casey Springer. So you're watching the National Sandjag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. Be sure to check out our friends at goodvibesracing.com. The 2018 calendar has been printed. It will be shipped out mid-March, so if you've not signed up, be sure to go sign up for it. Be sure to go to goodvibesracing.com. We want to thank all of our daily race coverage sponsors for this season with the SCSDA events. Southern California OTR Recycling, Mr. Greg Tunget. Fast Track Construction, Mark Puno is out of Vegas. Big thanks to him. Big thank you to Mark Ratliff from MPC Racing. Kevin Williams with Kevin Williams Racing. Moore's Family Racing, Rick, Billy, Shelley, the whole crew there. Hammer Down Racing, Dennis Wright. Rialto Trophy, Mr. Todd Kenny. And we want to give a big shout out to the SCSDA, SoCal Sand Drag Association crew, for all they do to put on these events here at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Like I said, we got 2 more runs down the track tonight, and that will put a wrap on the first event of the 2018 SCSDA season. The Pro 2 final and the Pro 3 final. Pro 2 is your 375 to 425 Pro Tree bracket class. Pro 3 is 426 and slower Pro Tree bracket class. It's been a record-setting weekend here at the Soboba Casino. We saw Dennis Wright lower the top field world record with a 2.201. He ran a 220 yesterday. That's the new mark. Backed it up with a 221 earlier today. On his 221 today, he had a 60-foot time of, get ready for this, .878. .878. That's the quickest 60-foot time I've heard of in sand drag racing history. .878 60-foot for Dennis Wright. On his 221 pass earlier today. And then another record set was Adam Rowe. He ran a 266 to take the Fast Fours 4-cylinder world record. He actually lowered it. He set it here last year at 2.70, and he'll leave here with it at 2.668. So the track is ready. We're gonna give everybody a couple minutes here. It looks like maybe Pro 3 will be out first. Mike Forrester is still buckled in, helmet on. Casey Springer is getting buckled in over there. The Pro 2 finalist, Chris Wells, is in the lanes. Tommy Zavala just pulling up. So we're probably gonna go Pro 3 first since both of those racers are ready. Or I could be wrong. We may be going to Pro 2. So just stick with us. We're going to finish out the evening here. 2 more passes down the track. So it appears, it looks like we're gonna run Pro 2 first. Tommy Zavala getting suited up, getting ready to step into the dragster. Him and Chris Wells are both dialed in at 375, so it's gonna be a good heads-up battle. Both of these guys are killer on the tree, so this is gonna be a really, really good race. Give you a little view of the track here at Soboba. Looks like we got a pretty nice sunset starting out over this way. It's becoming an issue for guys that are in the right lane as they have to kind of look into the sun to see the tree. But it doesn't look like it's made much of a difference here as the final rounds have progressed. So helmets are going on. Pro 2 final round coming out next. Chris Wells, the Washington-based V8 buggy. Small black Chevy, the alcohol injection coming up on the near lane. Tommy Zavala over on the far side. Big black Chevy, carbureted power. 375 dials a piece. We'll see what, see who can get the job done here.
See who can be the best on the brake.
I think Sonny just made a good point here. Whoever is the best on the brake pedal, both these guys can go well under the 375 dial, so it's going to be pretty interesting. So Chris is going for the double up here.
Yeah.
One pro, one. We got one proud grandpa over here standing next to me. He's getting ready for this one.
Yeah, we finally got the car figured out.
Yeah, car's figured out. They made the long drive down here from Washington. Had to go through some adverse weather to get here. Big time. We'll see if they can make it pay off in a Pro 1 and Pro 2 double up here today. It's going to be a good one though. Tommy Zavala is a tough customer.
Yeah, he's tough.
It's going to be good. Pro 2 final coming to the line right now.
Heads up.
That's right, it is. Double 01 red for Chris Wells. 001 red. Tommy Zavala on the other side was 011 green and went 376.1 on the 75. So he had a 22 thousandths package. Killer lap for Tommy Zavala. Chris Wells 001 red. 1,000th away from a double up victory. Great race there in the Pro 2 final. Pro 3 final up now. Mike Forster near lane. And Casey Springer in the far lane. 451 dial for Forrester, 427 for Casey Springer. Casey just won a big race last weekend in Dumont, taking the 425 index win there. We'll see if he can do a back-to-back weekend. Springer with the big advantage and the win. 440 is the number. Casey Springer in the Benz Revenge Land Cruiser is your winner in the Pro 3 class here tonight at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. So that is it, folks. Last run of the night. We want to thank our friends at Good Vibrations Motorsports for all of their support of the National Sand Drag News live stream. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in this weekend. It's been quite a weekend out here in Southern California. Like I said, we'll be back here next month, March 23rd through 25th, for the next event in the SCSDA series this year. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you down the road.